Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over? This is episode 7 of the series, and last episode we saw the formation of India. I believe all these Japanese countries formed last episode, and I believe the Philippines formed last episode. And we also saw the Great Roman War, which brought Rome down to this tiny part. I am so sorry that because I spent like 40 minutes editing episode 6 and my editing software just decided that it didn't want to work that day. So I'm just hoping that it works today, but yeah, let's get started. So first things first, we are going to see Scotland and um Ireland expanding their colonies. And these colonies, no, it's gonna be there. Now, they're still pretty small colonies, but they are quite a bit bigger than they were before. So, yeah. And then next thing we are going to see is China is going to finally connect these two colonies together. I mean, the colony and its mainland together. Okay, and then we all know Vietnam had an expansionist government put in place in the, I believe, I got to say 2 or 3 revolution. But anyways, this hyper expansionist government is going to continue expanding even down to here. And now this little section and this section are both going to be divided up. And over on this section, um, Vietnam is going to get that, and Cambodia is going to get that. And then over here, it is pretty simple. Cambodia will get a little bit more. However, Vietnam will get a majority of it. Okay. Next we are actually um so we see China is going to be exploring outwards, looking to expand their empire because they lost a lot of valuable land in the Japanese Revolution. And as they're exploring off this coast of like Siberia / Manchuria, discover whatever that island's called, and all this land. And then they will discover Sakhalin too. And then they also discover all of these islands, and they discover southern Kamchatka. And then they do keep exploring up here, however, it is getting quite cold, so they will stop. And instead, they will begin to explore inland, and they will explore about that much. Okay, and then the Chinese will keep exploring, and they will find this lake, and they will completely explore all the way around it. However, if I'm not wrong, this is called Lake Baikal, and we are going to see a country forming here. and I'm just gonna call it Baikal, honestly. And let me get back with its borders. Okay, so there are the borders of Baikal. They will claim this large part of land around Lake Baikal, and obviously they were going to continue exploring, and they broke away from China because despite them also being expansionists just like China, they felt that they needed a fresh start and they just wanted to be independent, and we are going to see their capital being right there. Now, okay, they are going to, like I said, continue exploring out and discover all of this area, including also exploring more of the area um that pathway to China. So they do explore quite a bit, and they even just explore all this big Chinese area. Ah, okay, there. And then they're also going to discover whatever this lake is called. Okay, so now we see that they have explored a large part of Asia, and let me come back with some updated borders. Okay, so there is the new borders of this very large country, and yeah, I have noticed that these borders I've been drawing aren't looking the best, but it don't really matter anyways. So now let's go over to Greenland, where we see Spain exploring a bit more of southern Greenland, and we are also going to see them greatly expanding their colony like that. Okay, I don't need it to be on 60 anymore. I can put it on 20. Okay, there. And they are also going to be, um, now they want to see how far across, Africa is, because as they keep on continuing, they find these islands, but they also find that now Africa is going down instead of this way, so they wonder. They can explore south, but how far can they go this way? So they send explorers down this way who continue exploring down through the coast of Africa. And I don't want to be exact, but I want to say right now, the year is probably about 1300. And so, anyways, um, also, these explorers will be coming over here and they will discover the UAE. And, well, yeah, they'll discover the UAE, that's about it. And these explorers down here, eventually, after a while, they decide that Africa may just go on infinitely. It could just go on infinitely down like that. So after exploring about that much of the coast, they do give up. However, over here, these explorers begin to explore along the coast against what they were told. And it is down here where we see these Spanish explorers creating the nation of Tanzania. And their borders are going to look something like that. Okay, now I can't tell you why Tanzania declared independence because I don't know why, but they did, and yeah. And their capital is going to be right here on the coast. Okay, actually, I will do power rankings because I said I would last episode, and I did not. So, yeah. I'll just edit that out of the video. I will, you know what, I'll just do that. Power rankings. Okay. So, number one, what the heck? That is not black. It's invisible. Okay, so number one is still going to be France. Where did the dot go? Okay, number two is right now at this point in time. Number two is probably, you know what? I'll give that to China, and then I'll give three to Vietnam, and then like Germany was two last time, but now Germany has fallen down to four. That's because they lost Finland and Norway, and then Spain is climbing up because Spain is now number five, and then Carthage is at number six. I will give seven to the UAE right there, and then eight I will give to. I will probably give that to Cambodia. And then, despite being very new, I'm going to give 9 to Baikal. And I'm going to give 10 to Macedonia. So there are our power rankings as of right now. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we are going to see a war between Greece and this city-state, which I just realized none of the city-states have capitals, but whatever. Rome is going to begin going on a conquest of land that they lost in the well, last episode. So despite being crushed, they are still much stronger than this city-state, and no need for a peace treaty because they are fully annexed. We are going to, you know what? They will put their border troops on the border of this country, but this country will simply choose to fall. However, this country down here, which I'll say that this one's their capital, they are also going to be invaded, but however, not going to fall quite as quickly as the other one did. And so the Romans will move in and they will try to capture that city. However, they are unsuccessful, but they are successful in capturing that city and meeting up with the border of this Carthage puppet state, and they do encircle the capital. And they also cut off this country from any French support, and they are about to encircle this country, next major city, until the Carthage comes in and to stop Rome, and they completely push Rome out of here, and they begin to push into Roman territory, taking this major city and this major city. And Rome is forced to surrender once their capital is captured. And actually, I will do this peace treaty. on here. So we see Rome reduced back down to their capital again, and this country gets those major cities. So yeah, it's a nice little war. Now this, you know what? I'll do one more thing actually. So Macedonia will explore around in the Caucasus region, and they will link up these two exploring groups, and they will explore much of. Actually, no, they will explore all of the Arabian Peninsula. What the heck is that? What is that? What the heck? Okay, so I did figure out that that was on the capitals layer, but anyways, we are going to see, for the purpose of not having that random white drawing there, see this entire section be explored. And we're going to see the Macedonians expanding. In fact, they're going to be linking themselves up, expanding around the entire Black Sea. Okay, like that. And they are also going to be linking up their colony in Egypt to their mainland. As well as claiming down this coast a little bit. And claiming down this coast quite a bit. Like that. Okay, that is going to be it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. If you did enjoy this episode, just like, comment, show support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.